folks, and welcome to another episode of Technicational. I'm Peyton Wilmot, and today we're going to do the full review of the new Gear VR. That's labeled Gear VR with controller. I don't know why it just named with controller. They should have called it like Gear VR 2 or something. Anyway, it's not to be confused with the Gear VR, which is the older model that came with the S7. Now, this one uses the S8, S7 and the S6 can work with this. Now, I have a simple problem. Samsung just put with controller on the box, and this thing is very much more than just a controller, because even if you use a controller, it doesn't give you the functionality of this. What I'm talking about, this, when you're using the Gear VR, this one over here, this appears in some games, and moving it around will show you your hand inside the game. You can't do that with a normal gamepad. And there's a lot of other functionalities with this that is pretty cool. But we're going to dive right into it right now, so you see the difference and what is good and bad about the new Gear VR. So let's do that. Okay folks, so this is the Gear VR, well, let's just call it the new Gear VR because I can't bother call it Gear VR with controller. So this is a new Gear VR, and there's a couple of things new compared to the old one. I have the old one right here, over here, and this is a new one. Now the first thing that you will realize is that on the right side of the new Gear VR, you still have a touchpad, but it's not grooved out, so you can follow the path of what you're doing easily. Here's the groove on the old one, and there's a centerpiece. On this one, it's just one big touchpad. Also, you have a back button and a home button as well on the new one. On the old one, you just have the back button. You still have the wheel at the top of the Gear VR to adjust the focal point, so that for all the blind people or nearsighted, farsighted, you can adjust the phone focal length so it doesn't look blurry. Same as the old one. You still have the grooves at the side and the grooves at the top to use the strap to hold it to your head. But what is really different and is really cool is that we know that we put the Gear VR on our heads and we put the phone directly in here. But because this can use with the S8, the S7 and the S6, you may be wondering, how do you use the ports? Because the S8 has a different port than the S7. The S8 actually use USB Type-C, while the others use mini USB. This is what they do to overcome it. You have a latch here that you can lock and release, and you can change the ends by just sliding it out. So this is the USB, mini USB for the S7, and you also get a USB Type-C to use with the Galaxy S8. So quite simple. Any phone, you just slide the one that you want to use inside and you lock it with the switch right here. So in terms of build quality, the new Gear VR is probably identical to the new one. It's just that this one feels slightly lighter, and I can definitely vouch for this. Everything seems clearer with this Gear VR. I mean, the games are clearer, what you're seeing is much more detailed. I don't know what, maybe it's a better lens, I don't know what they're doing, but this is definitely a better VR experience than the original Gear VR. So obviously the main addition to the new Gear VR is this controller right here. Now, how should I say it? Just this simple controller really redefines how you use the Gear VR. It is Amazing is kind of understatement. Because what happened is, you have a trigger, you have a touchpad, and it clicks as well. You have the back and home button, volume up, volume down. This controller has to be paired with the phone that you're putting in the Gear VR. And Samsung went to extreme lengths to have certain games use this controller. And I'm happy they did, because it shows what the controller can do. It has the ability to just blow your mind when you're doing VR gaming. For example, there is a game that I've been playing a lot where you have zombies and you're looking around and you're shooting the zombies. Now, you have the controller in your hand and you click the trigger, you press the trigger to shoot. And to reload, you have to turn the controller on the side, empty out the bullets, the empty casing, turn it back up, and pull the trigger again because it's loaded. And anywhere you point in real life, it points in the VR game. So that's how you aim. So it really feels lifelike, and for most part, it works. It doesn't work 100%, but 90% of the time, it's very accurate. And I respect that. There's an update for this, so probably the update will even fix some of the issues that I'm having, where sometime in the game you're pointing directly, but it shows that you're pointing this way. But this is quickly rectified if you hold the home button. It recalibrates the controller to see where it's actually at, and you're good to go. So here we're going to test out Buried Alive or Dead. Dead and Buried, that's the name of the game. Yeah, Dead and Buried. So we'll start this out now. Bad piece of game, by the way. Woo! Okay, let's just play whole mode and show what I'm talking about this controller. So, game starting up now. You notice it's in my hand. When I click my hand, you see it's gripping in the game. So I'm gonna pull down, check out my gun, and oh, yeah. Hey, come on, this shot, be fun. Reload. No, let me even check if this actually works with the old Gear VR. Let me check that out now. So there you have it, folks. The Gear VR with controller, and you see how the controller actually works, and it's definitely fun to use in games. There are a lot of games on the store that use the controller in that way, and some of them, well, most of them are free, and a lot are there that you have to pay for. But all in all, I have to say this is a much better experience, and I'm really looking forward to what Samsung will do with the Gear VR in the future, because I just thought this was a controller and I could have replaced it with my GameSir controller. You know, the GameSir controller I love so much. Yeah, but this is much different than a standard controller, and it really is accurate as long as you calibrate it with the Gear VR. And for all the people who have the old one, as you have seen, tested on the old one, and it works. So you don't have to worry. If you want to just buy the controller and still play the games, you still can play the games and enjoy it just as well. So anyhow, folks, this is me signing out. I have to give a big shout out to the Samsung Experience Store in Tropical Plaza. This would not be possible without them, and the link is in the description, and you can see their contact number if you're interested in getting one of these. This is why you buy an expensive phone. You don't just buy it to make cars or look woman. You get a Galaxy S7, a S6, RS8, so you use all the functionalities, which is VR and all the gaming capabilities it have. And you know what? If you don't know, don't buy it. If you know, buy it. And I don't beat all the guys who buy it because they want a woman to say, hey, you have money. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we're almost there, almost at the 2,000 subscribers. Have to give a big shout out to all the people who made it possible. Thank you guys. And until next time, I'm signing out from Jamaica as usual, and enjoy your day. Peace.